fruit in days. They haven't had this really rich fruit in days. But there's only like a few pieces of fruit. You can imagine that might lead to some fighting, right? They all want that fruit. So in order to make sure that things don't get out of control, they have a social hierarchy in place, which just means that each individual has a rank within the troop, with the alpha male being the highest ranking individual. So the higher ranked individuals would get first pick of that food, and the lower ranking individuals would either have to wait until the higher ranking individuals get their food, which is what happens here. The lower ranking individuals sit back and wait their turn, or if there's none of the good food left, like with that fruit tree, they might just have to eat something of a lesser value. The higher ranking individuals also get first pick of mates. So you can imagine, like, most of these individuals want to be high ranking. You get food, you get mates, but it also has a lot of responsibility because the higher ranking individuals, and especially the alpha, they have to make sure that everything stays in order. So if a lower ranking individual were to misstep and take food when they're not supposed to, it's the job of the higher ranking individuals to sort of make sure that individual knows that they did something wrong so they don't do it again. So perks, but lots of responsibility as well. And our alpha is probably over there. I have not seen him since the food started being thrown. His name is Glenn. I believe he's 24 years old, and his mom is Nan, so the oldest individual is his mom. And he has a younger brother in here, Shawn. So you guys might see that individual with a lot of tomatoes in her mouth. That's Regina. She always does this. Stuffs as many tomatoes in her mouth. She'll have them in her hands, in her feet. They're all sort of dispersing now, so we'll get a good look at the majority of our troop. So Glenn is a little more relaxed as far as alphas go, because he gets help from the other troop members. So these little ones have been playing with these bags, and now the adults are realizing, oh, you guys got good bags here, and they want the little ones to share. So this individual who just picked up that tomato, that's Nan. That's our almost 39-year-old, our type 1 diabetic. She's a very special girl. So their rank is usually inherited from their mom. So if their mom is high ranking, they're generally speaking high ranking, but it's fluid. It's not, you know, a permanent position. Even the alpha isn't permanent position. So these positive behaviors like grooming and alloparenting and sharing food, those all have a purpose, which is to have lots of friends, have a big alliance. Because the more friends you have, the better chance you'll be a higher ranking individual. You have more backup, especially if conflict were to arise. You have more backup the more friends you have. So a lot of people might think that the biggest, strongest chimpanzees would be the alpha or be the higher ranking individuals, but that's not always the case. It matters more like how many friends they have, how well liked they are. So those social interactions really do play a role. So you can see Regina, she's got tomatoes in every hand and foot. So you can see that opposable big toe that they have. So that's one difference, right? We don't have that anymore because we walk upright. That wouldn't really work very well for us, but it works really well for them. They can climb up and down these trees easily. They can hold a lot of food, take it to their eating area. This one here is Zuri. Zuri's a 6-year-old female. So not quite a youngster anymore, but not quite an adult, so she's kind of at an awkward phase. So she's a lower ranking female. And she's still learning. I saw the other day, during their lunch actually, she was trying to get food from Johari, which is one of the adult males. So she was sitting there, and Kima, the 5-year-old female, was next to her, and they were both kind of begging for food from Johari. And just suddenly it turned into chaos because Kima was annoyed that Zuri was trying to get food. So Kima started bothering Zuri because Zuri's not a kid anymore. She can't really retaliate that anymore. Zuri will get in trouble even though Kima started it. So it turned into Zuri getting into trouble. So she's still finding her place in the troop, but she's doing pretty well. Yep, looks like we lost them all. So they all migrate over that way to eat their food. So they get their food here, carry it all over to the other side. So I'm probably going to migrate over there as well to observe them some more. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today to observe our chimpanzees.